So the rumors of Dying Light 2 being in serious trouble or even cancelled have thankfully turned out to be not true. After a year of almost total silence, Techland has come out of the dark and has given us some really good details about what we can expect from Dying Light 2. Hey guys, this is Chris with B&B Gaming. Welcome back, and I hope you're doing amazing today. Thank you for all your support, all your likes, your shares, your comments. They definitely help me out by letting YouTube know that you like the videos. And if you're new to the channel and you're interested in Dying Light 2, consider hitting that subscribe button. So to start with, guys, just a quick recap here, that Dying Light 2 was supposed to come out in 2020, but then all of a sudden was delayed indefinitely. And as time went on, different people were leaving Techland, and there were some controversial characters leaving the company, and there were different anonymous sources coming out of the company saying that different things were going wrong and there were different issues. Now, I'm not saying any of that is not true, but it painted a bleak picture that Dying Light 2 was never going to come out. Well, again, thankfully, early in March, Techland came out with a video where they came out and just reiterated that Dying Light 2 is coming out.
Okay everyone, we got a message. We understand you are curious about the game because you want Dying Light 2 to be good as you have imagined. And maybe you are even a little impatient because you have waited a long time for any news and updates.
This is a huge and complex project, and we needed time to make sure it will live up to our vision. All of us here are putting our hearts into delivering a game that you will keep playing for months. We will be ready to start talking about Dying Light 2 very, very soon.
The whole team needs your trust and support, as this is what motivates us, especially now when the circumstances are hard for everyone. We are proud of having such devoted fans as you, no matter how you express your feelings. And just for you, here's a small snippet of what's coming. Please, stay with us just a bit longer and stay safe. Thank you.
And at the end of the trailer, a big 2021 appeared on screen. So the assumption is we can expect Dying Light 2 to come out sometime in 2021. In addition to the dev update, they also recently did an interview with WCF Tech, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below if you want to read it for yourself. And here we actually got quite a few different details about where Dying Light 2 is and if it's changed over the last year when it was delayed. So to start with, they confirmed that the map size is going to be 4 times the size of Dying Light 1. And this is actually the same as it was going to be when it was going to launch last year. Now, as far as the size of the map, they're saying it's going to be more vertical and also offers many more exploration paths, which will make it seem even larger. Well, anyways, another aspect to Dying Light 2 is the brand new game engine called the C engine. And they did open up a little bit about the C engine being part of the issue with some of the delays with Dying Light 2, which is understandable. Anytime a studio changes over to a new engine, there's going to be some issues. Well, anyways, as a gamer, what can we expect with this new game engine? As far as the graphics go, on PC we can expect ray tracing, DLSS support, etc. And on the next-gen consoles, the PS5, Xbox Series X, we can expect ray tracing and also 4K support. As far as what this engine will do or add to Dying Light 2, they're saying it allows them to display more zombies on screen with more varied behavior. So you're not just going to get a bunch of zombies all doing the same thing. You're going to get some of them, I don't know, eating people and some of them hanging off the roof or whatever they're going to do. As far as development goes, they also said that this new engine allows them to essentially create large parts of the city with a point and click. So put in different buildings here or there, or just click here and there. And you're probably thinking, well, what took so long with building this game? The time-consuming part with this, they said, is actually filling those areas with interesting people, zombies, interesting side quests, etc. Now, in terms of the consoles, one big question people have, especially because of Cyberpunk 2077, is Dying Light 2 going to be coming out on the last-gen consoles? so the Xbox One and PS4. And Techland actually confirmed that it is still coming for the Xbox One and PS4. What they said was, the main consoles have long been our priority. We make every effort to ensure that the game's quality on PS4 and Xbox One is at the highest level. We started testing on the older generation consoles much earlier than other projects. This was related to the scale of the challenges to the engine and an ambitious plan to create an even larger and more complex game than Dying Light 1. As far as the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, they're going to offer both a quality mode with ray tracing and they're aiming for 4K, and they're also going to offer a performance mode with 60 frames per second or more. One question asked in an interview was, how is Dying Light 2 different than other games on the market now, since it's been, 5-6 years since Dying Light 1 came out? Here Techland said, with Dying Light 2, we introduced an additional element, the ability to change the open world. By making different decisions, you introduce different gameplay mechanics to the game. For example, exploding car traps, or other crazy contraptions. This way, you really shape the world around you, and this is truly an empowering feeling. Another question asked was, is Dying Light 2 still heavily structured around the RPG-like choice and consequence system, or have there been any changes? Here, Timon Smektala, I believe the creative director, says that absolutely, it's another cornerstone of the project. But as we explained a few times already, narrative-based choices are just one of the ways players are going to express their agency. Another one is the city alignment system, which is the main system that allows players to make changes to the city. Now, along with doing all the things they've been doing to Dying Light 2 just to make it hopefully really good, they've also added a new system into Dying Light. Here an interviewer asks, are there any random dynamic encounters or events as in titles like Red Dead Redemption 2? Here again, Timon replies and says, absolutely. There are a lot of stories in Dying Light 2's world. We're holding back with this aspect of the game, as we wanted to use it as icing on the main story's narrative cake. We have introduced random events relatively recently, roughly in the second half of last year, and they've added a lot of life and vibrancy to the world. Now, you're probably wondering how much gameplay is going to be in Dying Light 2, especially since they delayed it for, a year and a half here? Well, the great news is they've confirmed that the main story campaign is going to be at least 20 hours, and all the side missions, they're expecting 40 plus hours with them as well, so potentially 60 hours of gameplay, which sounds amazing. And of course, with the huge community of Dying Light, they are going to be doing DLC for Dying Light 2. Now, as far as the development process and, what they have to say about that, here Timon said, I think it's safe to say that all of us hoped that we'd have fewer hurdles to overcome. But even though we faced some problems with the scope and ambition of the project, we didn't lose a day and kept pushing the game forward with each production milestone. We had to find an effective structure for the game, the right balance between gameplay and narrative. We had to deal with some pressure, but I think it made us wiser and more experienced as a team. The game also benefited a lot from that process. So thankfully, we're now almost ready to start presenting it in a broader manner. And as far as a release date for Dying Light 2, again, it's scheduled to come out in 2021. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Are you excited about Dying Light 2? Are you a little PO'd that it's taken so long to come out? Are you excited just that it's still alive and it's coming out? Let me know what you think. For me, this is going to sound a little strange, but I'm actually grateful that Dying Light 2 is still coming out. It looked like it was over for it, and it made me really sad because Dying Light has a great community, especially on PC, of just these hardcore players. I've talked with so many people in the comments about, yeah, I've gone through Dying Light 2 like 5-10 times. This is going to be my 15th time. I just love this game. And I was just sad for those people because they love this franchise so much. And there's so much talent at Techland. It just made me sad. But the fact that it's still coming out, these guys are still punching away at this game, and hopefully it turns out to be amazing. Again, Timon talked about it a little bit that, the game is really ambitious in what they're doing here, And in fact, if it is 4 times as large as Dying Light 1, you know, that's a lot of work here, and they want to make sure that everything is really good. And I think especially with the tale of Cyberpunk here, they want to make sure that this game is ready for prime time. And I think it's pretty obvious that they know what an awesome community they have, and they want to make sure this is the best possible game they can put out.